Always wanted to play music from an early age. I was given piano lessons when I was very young, and I was a good ear player. When I was in high school, my friends were in the band, and so I wanted to join the band too. And I was already in the choir and was a pretty fair singer. That was my first musical experience, really, in a group, was in high school, playing the cornet, age 15, 16. The very first jazz I can remember was a parade in the small town where I grew up. And they had a typical all-American parade where you have all floats and everything. There were two bands in the parade. One was a rock band, and they had long hair, and they were all dressed in black. This is 1965. And they're just as scungy as some of them are today. And they had a portable amplifier on the truck, and it was pretty loud, and I didn't like it much. And then the next float was a jazz band, some guys I knew from the school, and they had a trombone player on the back of the truck doing the tailgate thing, and they were all reading music, playing the Saints or something. I thought, yeah, that's for me. That's what I want to do. I like this. And I was hooked from then on. And shortly after, the family immigrated to Australia, and that's when I got a chance to play in public. I happened to come across somebody who said there's a jazz band down the road and they don't have a trumpet player and they might need a trumpet player. Why don't you go and sit in? So I went along, and I didn't know about any etiquette about asking to sit in or anything. While they were playing, I just took the horn out and started playing, and they didn't pay any attention. But after the night was over, they offered me the job, and they said, look, next time you come and play, you better ask, but you've got the gig. So that was my first job. Saturday nights, $7 each. Those were the days.
Yeah.
And I'd actually heard Louis Armstrong, seen him on the TV on, I think it was the Dean Martin show or something, just before we left the States. And Louis it was just before he died, and he didn't really play trumpet. He sang a bit, like Mame or Cabaret, one of his really late hits. And I thought, oh, that's Louis Armstrong, is it? Oh, okay. And I didn't know anything about how great Louis was. At the time, my hero was Al Hirt. He was a great trumpet player, but that was the sum total of the great records I had was Al Hirt and Tijuana Brass. Didn't have any jazz records. And somebody said, look, why don't you get off this Al Hirt kick and listen to Louis Armstrong? And I said, oh, I've heard Louis, I don't think he's any good. And they said, well, I'll make you a tape. Some good stuff. So I got with the program, and that was an eye-opener. I still like Al Hirt, but for different reasons. I started playing more and more jazz, had a day job in a music store, and eventually gave that up and just started working full-time in bands. Led my first band in '75, and actually the last time I was in New Orleans was in '78. And it's interesting to be back again. Still just as hot as it was then, but it's a great town.